position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to Sooner Nation and Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Tennessee Volunteers, taking on a team from the playoff a year ago, the Oklahoma Sooners. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Sooners will kick it away to start us off. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Pulls it, fired complete. There he goes. Out across the 40 and forced out of bounds at the 42. And now this offense is clicking. That's the type of explosive play you love to start a drive with. First down from the 42. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. And the Vols will hustle to the line. Looking to pass, it's Markham. They're working that left side. Offense on the move. A big play there, gets it to the 30.
You know, this offense knew coming into the game they were going to get some opportunities to take shots down the field. They feel like they've got the guys on the perimeter to win one-on-one, and you saw it right there.
Fouls through the defense. They get him off his feet after a pickup of 5 down to the 25. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. He'll pull it on the read. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
Stopped at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Quarterback keeps it. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Vols!
This defense has their hands full in this game because of what you saw right there. This quarterback is one of the fastest players in the entire country, and he runs one in. They're going to have to do a better job getting hats to him because they know they're going to see the QB run a lot today.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
Sends it back in motion. Wants to fire on second down. Zings it complete to the right.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
Starting to feel a little pressure. Complete in the middle. And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the first down.
Well, after watching the other offense go down the field and score a touchdown, you know this guy's trying to lead his offense to do the exact same thing. That was a big third down. I know there's a lot of football left to play, but you're trying to establish confidence as early as possible. That last throw is really going to help out your team.
And the Sooners are marching down the field. They'll send the back in motion. Quick completion to the right. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Trying play action. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
And sometimes the quarterback grabs the football so quick and tries to get out of his hand, rushes it a little bit on these quick throws. Sometimes they don't even grab the laces, and you could tell he just grabbed it, threw it a little bit too quick, and missed behind the wide receiver.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw to the outside is complete. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
A nice job of awareness on defense there on that 3rd down. You know, you're expecting the offense to throw the football, but it's not just going to be receivers or tight ends you got to worry about. You got to keep your eye on where that running back is. They knew exactly where he would be, and they were able to make the tackle setting up 4th.
They'll try to convert from the Wildcat. Back has it. Can't get him to the ground. They make the stop, but not before the chains move and the Wildcat formation pays off.
You know, they got a lot of trust in this running back on these big downs to go find a way to get it done. On that 4th down, that is a huge play in this game, and he delivers for his team.
Pulls it, fires to the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
Pressure coming. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
And if you turned on the tape last week, you're getting more of the same in the first quarter. This defense last week harassing the QB with 6 sacks, now getting out the gates in the first quarter and getting their first one.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. They stop him short, and we'll have a big 4th down coming. Now on 4th down, here comes the field goal team. He's going to try to knock one through from 49 yards away. Never a doubt for this big-footed guy. 49-yard field goal is good.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Quickly complete. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Looking to throw, it's Marco. Good timing on the quick out. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. That's the end of the quarter, and Tennessee has the lead. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. So they go back to work after the break, and it is third down. He'll keep it himself. That play just got wrecked. 3rd and 1, and they went backwards. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. Big tight end makes the grab. First down, still on his feet. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45. The definition of 4-down territory has changed over the last few years. It extended into their own territory there.
Anywhere, everywhere, just look at the card, right? That card's supposed to tell us what to do, but maybe I'll go for it anyways. This offense took a little bit of a gamble, but they get the first down. Nothing to worry about, Bruce.
The Volunteers look to keep this drive humming. From the gun, running back on the move. They get him stopped after a pickup of 5 to the 28.
And runs like that are like body blows in a boxing match. 4, 5, 6-yard gains early turn into 20, 30, 40-yard gains later. They really wear down defenses, and they test their physicality.
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
And really good job getting to the quarterback. That's priority number 1, trying to get pressure on him, get him to the ground as a bonus. They had 6 sacks in their last game. They got to keep building on that number if they want to keep stacking wins.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. To the air, it's Marco. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it rolls to the ground incomplete. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's incomplete way downfield, and the defense rises to the occasion.
Man, that is just a great job on defense there on 4th down, making a play on the ball in the air. Everybody had their eyes on the quarterback, but having great timing, swatting the ball away, and doing it cleanly. No PI. And as a result, that defense has earned a rest. They're coming off the field.
So here comes the Oklahoma offense. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
They'll run play action. Keeps looking downfield. On the run, deep down the right side. Intercepted to stop the threat.
And the defender makes a great read, breaks on the football, and makes the big interception in the back end. And here's the thing, that's number 4 this season, so he's finding the football consistently.
All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. They're going to run it to the right. And some room to work. Got the first down. Looking for more. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays. It is a maxim of Tennessee football that you must be physical.
Physical. It's just kind of people they are, right? Tennessee people are physical. They want to do the dirty work. They're willing to do the dirty work, and you love it when your team has a bunch of grinders, a bunch of physical guys, a bunch of blue-collar guys that want to work.
Moving closer to the red zone, it's at the 27 on first down. Handoff from the gun. Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19. And the Volunteers can really attack on this second and short. play fake. Looking to the big tight end. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Yeah, and a really good job by the defender understanding the ball's coming. I got to break on it and go and not try to intercept it and make a bad play. He swats it down and makes sure that's an incompletion.
Shoots it to the left. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Volunteers!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Wants to go up top on first down. Finds his target down the middle.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? The quick out. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35. The Sooners with the 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. Spins it out to the flat. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running, 2nd down coming. He might want another play. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. He's got him. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down.
Could that be the play that finally wakes them up? Just not a lot of good going on offensively here in this first half. They've only got 3 points to show for their efforts. They haven't been throwing it a lot, but they took a shot there. They got a chunk play. Now they're in a position. They need to score a touchdown here before the half is over.
Tried to hit him with a quick game on 1st down, and nothing doing there. Wide receiver going in motion. Wants to keep it in the air. Throws to the tight end. Soft spot in the middle. How about this senior picking up some yardage and making a nice play on that one?
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field. And nowadays, you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
With jet sweep pass. Jukes his way for more. And he's brought down after a nice gain. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. Direct snap. He's going for the goal line. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Oklahoma!
And that was a really big score here at the end of the first half, just for their confidence and their momentum. They're obviously still losing right now on the scoreboard, but you had the feeling something positive had to happen here at the end of the first half for them to go in at halftime, regroup, come out in the second half now, trying to build on that successful drive offensively.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. To the air, it's Marco. Under fire. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Hey, listen, the quarterback didn't get the completion on that throw, but that doesn't mean you can't try again. Trusting your playmakers outside to push the field and stretch it vertically and make a play for you. It won't surprise me to see this QB take more shots as this game goes on.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Picks up the first down, still moving. Gets it inside the 40, brought down at the 39, and they can't stop the clock. To the air on 1st down. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Corners are going to bail. And back to the air on 2nd down. Finds the tight end. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a 1st down at the 44. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. The new popular phrase for a favored team not really coming out of the gates quickly is that they're playing with their food. There are a lot of peas being pushed around the plate right now, guys.
Yeah, Reese, they've been stumbling around. They've been making mistakes and shooting themselves in the foot in this game. But, David, I think you also have to give credit to the underdog in this game because they're just playing with more intensity. They look like they want it more.
Oh, dude, when you come out the gates in the 1st quarter, it's adrenaline, it's passion, it's being talked about as the underdog. As this game goes on, can they keep that intensity up? Right now, they're doing a heck of a job.
Quick timeout call by the offense after the play. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Off play action. Throws for the tight end. Working the middle. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a 1st down. Clock still running, almost certainly the last play of the half. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They'd love nothing better than to add a 3-ball here before the break. Absolutely perfect. Lead now 7 here in the 3rd quarter. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Vols will line up to kick off and start the 2nd half. And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. Comes the Sooner offense back onto the field. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the 2nd half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the 2nd half.
You know, and I think that if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
Makes the grab on the back. And he's able to shed 1 tackle, but still just a very short gain.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
They'll run it out of the shotgun. He goes down at the 47 after a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, and it's a nice decision by the quarterback when you run these RPOs. Man, if you can give it to him and you can get such positive yards like that, continue to do it. Make that defense react a different way, then I'll throw the football.
The screen, and watch out. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the 1st down.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the end route there.
The Sooners can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Back to pass. Got his man on the line. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. Now on second down. Wants to adjust the pattern. To the air on second down. Fired that thing out in a heartbeat, but it's incomplete.
And you didn't have a lot of panic in the first half. Man, you're starting to get now in the second half, and this offense just has really, really struggled, underperformed. You know you're a better team, but this offense hasn't shown it. This team hasn't shown it. It's the third quarter. They got to get it going now.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Fires to the wideout. Oh, it's picked off. That's not the start they hoped for. Going the other way, and he's got room. The 10. And he's going to run it all the way back. Touchdown, Tennessee.
If you're laser focused on defense and you're dialed into the quarterback and you're breaking on the football when he throws, you get a lot of tips, you get a lot of deflections, and then it just happens to bounce to your guy, and your guy does the rest. Takes it all the way back to the house. Big play by this defense.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Time for this Sooner offense to go back to work. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
They finally make the stop, and it's been this way this guy's whole career as a senior makes a play after the grab. And the Sooners want to move quickly. Quarterback making checks. Looking to throw on first down. Trying to make magic on the scramble. He can't make the connection. It'll be incomplete. He can scramble, but couldn't create anything there.
Well, another incompletion. You can see the frustration building, but you got to give the defense credit. They came into this one knowing no one was giving them a shot because of their record, because of what their stats are on paper, but they're playing better football. They're playing with better effort, and right now they're making the most plays.
And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Looking for his man in the middle. Pulls it in down the sideline. Ripping off a huge chunk of yardage, and he's got it just outside the 10 of the 11. Wants to throw again. Moving away from pressure. Spits it out to the back. The flag flies in as this one falls incomplete. We'll see who it's on. He just lost track of where he was on the field. Entire body past the line of scrimmage. Illegal forward pass, and they will back him up. Here comes the offense on second down. Looking to fire. Here comes the heat. Lets it go to the end zone. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His third interception of the day.
Well, coming out of the tunnel in the third quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the third quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first.
He hurls one deep down the left side. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on first down.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone. And they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open. And that's why that one fell incomplete.
Not much there. Picks up a couple to the 22. Sooner Nation bearing down on this offense on this huge third down play. Dropping back, it's Marco. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable third and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters, and I know the pass is coming, so I can have more success.
He only needs a sliver of daylight. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Touch pass on the jet sweep. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming. The Sooners want to crank the tempo. Making side adjustments here. The play action fake. Dances away from the pressure, going to his left. Got him downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. On 1st and 10, trying to strike from the 15. Motion from the wide receiver. Looking to throw on first down. He makes a grab. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Quick pass on the jet motion. And he won't be able to push his way in. He stopped at the 1.
Offense trying to go push pass on first down the goal line, but the defense, tremendous surge up front. They get penetration, and they get the tackle for loss.
Lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they've got. Snap to the back. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
And you got to focus, right? The first thing you're looking at as a defensive lineman, the first thing you understand is the ball starts with a snap count. I have to line up, see the ball. When the ball moves, I move. I know it's simple, but...
And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Sooners! Lining up for the PAT. And the extra point is good as they close to within a touchdown, 24-17. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Back to throw, it's Marco. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. The give on the option. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. We've come to the end of the period, and Tennessee leads it. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. After swapping into the field, they gave him a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. He's looking to pass. He's got it. He gets it out to the 28-yard line. Not enough to pick up the first down. 1 for 2 on 4th down attempts so far, and we will get a 3rd attempt. He uncorks one deep. And it's knocked away. They'll give up the ball, failing to convert on 4th.
And listen, obviously, at this area of the field, it's a question, it's a debate whether or not you go for that on 4th down. At the end of the day, though, I think this coach believes in his own playmakers, and he's got guys on offense that he feels can make a play in that type of situation, and he's got confidence in him. That time they weren't able to come up with it. Curious to see what this guy does if they're in a similar situation as this game moves on.
Finds just enough room to pick up a couple down to the 26.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Gets the back moving. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Floats it out in space. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
It's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
From the gun, the ground game. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
The Sooners now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Back to pass on 2nd down. Fires to the tight end. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit and let's keep going.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. Quarterback on the move, still looking. Couldn't find anywhere to throw the football, just got rid of it, and that's the #1 thing. Avoid disaster here.
He must have just felt really awful about that play because 3rd and long, you'd like to get something back here, even if it's just a check down to make 4th down more manageable. Throwing this football away now, 4th down is going to be difficult.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. To the end zone, and is picked off. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. Taking it the other way. Got the first down and more. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it? They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. They'll move the wide receiver. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Leaves it with the back. Just willed his way for a couple out to the 35. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Big 3rd down as the crowd gets behind this defense. Release to the back. It's complete to the left. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Vols are moving quickly down the field. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And after that negative play on offense with the lead late in the game, I think there's still ways that you can be creative and run the football, but not be so obvious. So zone read type plays, fake dives and pitches to the running back to get him outside, jet sweeps. You can find other ways to keep the clock moving, even though the defense knows you're going to run it.
He found a little opening and got loose. They couldn't stop him in the backfield, so a solid pickup there.
I think this defense moving forward has to be able to finish plays. On that second down, quarterback had nowhere to go with it. Defense had an opportunity to get to him, get him on the ground, setting up third and long, but because they couldn't do that, they let him spring free. It's now third and manageable. This defense just making life hard on themselves right now because they're not finishing these plays.
Find space on the right. What a nice connection. Knocked down immediately, and they've got it at the 25.
Really nice execution by this offense. This is the time, right? Late in the football game, got to get a few first downs to preserve this lead, to get out of here with the W. They trust their quarterback. They protect him. They get the first down.
The Volunteers will line it up on 1st and 10. And the offense is content with where it is. They'll take a knee.
And this situation here on 2nd down is the exact situation this offense wanted to stay out of. You got the lead late in the ball game. You want to get positive yards, keep that clock ticking. Now in this situation, it's interesting. Do they want to throw the football? How much do they trust their quarterback not to make a mistake here late in the football game with the lead?
Leaves it with the running back. Turning it on. Got some room, entered to the goal line. Touchdown ball. And they take it in for 6 more points. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
And it was so important for the offense to come up with a touchdown there and not kick a field goal. You're trying to put this thing out of reach. And that touchdown puts so much pressure on their opponent now with less than 2 minutes to go.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. He'll be out of bounds short of the 25 at the 22-yard line. First play of the drive comes from the 22. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. He just couldn't hold his water long enough at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a penalty. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. From the gun. Here's a throw downfield late. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on 1st down.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it, but you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Now improvising. He's taking the deep shot. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down.
Time is not on their side right now. They can't afford too many more incompletions like that. They need to come up with some connections, and they've got to score points. They've got to get this passing game going now.
He's taking a deep shot late in the game and trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. He wants a big play here late. Makes the grab, got the conversion, and still going. They got him free for a big gainer to the 43. wants to throw on first down. Got the back over the middle. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. Offense set on first down. From the gun, looking for a man. Dances away to buy time. A deep throw as the clock winds down. Broken up, incomplete, and nearly intercepted in the end zone. It'll be second down.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he has had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back.
He's going for the big play. And here's the 5th interception by this quarterback. He's brought down. A short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick.
Well, that's a nice interception. At this point of the game, up 2 possessions in a 2-minute situation, the offense is so predictable. You know they're going to throw the football. So everybody on defense, they're just trying to see the ball thrown and then breaking on it. Nice job coming away with that turnover.
Yeah, and you see some people get upset with offsides in the defense. I call it the cost of doing business. It's just part of being great off the football. Sometimes you'll guess and sometimes you'll be wrong. The first one is always on me, Coach, and the second one, usually he takes me out of the game.
They get the W, and with that being win number 6, looks as if they're going bowling, guys.
And that's a good moment for this squad, right? Like, you start every season, you have big goals, and it usually starts with your conference championship and winning a national championship, maybe going to the playoffs. Everybody has different goals, but getting to a bowl is always sweet, and this team's eligible now.
I know the coaches are really happy about this, the AD and the fans, because they know what it means for the program, right? You're going to get those 15 extra practices at the end of the year to help develop young talent. Looking ahead to next season, but that's next season. There's still a lot of football left to go this year. Let's just see how good of a bowl game they can get to.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.